Knives Out 2, otherwise known as Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, is out on Netflix today. And, I mean, Knives Out, the first one, is one of my favorite movies of all time. Knives Out 2, I don't think is quite as good as Knives Out. It's not hit in my all-time favorite movie ever, list, but it is a worthy sequel. It's still plenty of fun. The mystery is great, and it had me guessing the whole time. I didn't really know what had happened until near the very end. And the cast is fun, though I will say this cast was not given as much opportunity to shine as the full ensemble of the first one. But I think it's just because in the first one they were all playing family, and when you're in such a big and ridiculous family like that, you can be larger and more boisterous. And there were moments of fun with this cast, but it just wasn't as entertaining as the ensemble of the first one. Obviously, I feel like I can't really say who I think shined the best, because that would give away who's more involved in the plot, but there are definitely actors who I was excited to see, and then afterwards I was like, oh, I mean, they were there. The actors who do get to shine do wonderfully with their parts, and Daniel Craig, who is returning as Blanc, is wonderful again, and it's fun to see him as kind of a fish out of water, not just for his personality, but also he's at this party with the uber rich, and just seeing him completely not know how to function in there, especially in the garden scene. Hilarious, great stuff. This is still a good movie, a worthy sequel, and especially I'm probably going to be wanting to rewatch this one pretty soon, because I'm interested now knowing how everything fit together and what secrets were about. I want to see how it was played earlier on in the movie. There's a secret that 3 characters are aware of for most of the movie. The audience isn't made aware of this secret until 2/3 of the way in. But even then, you only know 2 of the people who know the secret, because the 3rd person who knows the secret is the killer. So it's I'm sitting there trying to figure out, oh, well, who also acted like they kind of knew this thing when they, what clues were given there. I'm trying to piece that together and remember back while the mystery is continuing on forward and evidence is being presented. So I'm excited to go back and rewatch this, knowing how everything fit together. I think this movie uses point of view very cleverly, similar to how the first one used point of view, especially during the interview segments. There aren't interview segments in this one, but it played with the audience's sense of memory. This movie did a really good job of showing how unreliable witness statements can be in cases. That was both a major part of the plot and also something that the movie was able to convey through its filmmaking choices. And also, unlike the first one showed a family of assholes who were all wealthy, but they're all wealthy because of the kindly actual millionaire old man head of the family. This one, all a bunch of rich people, all a bunch of rich assholes, and it portrayed it well. While in both movies, they're all still characters that can have moments that you're sympathetic towards them and everything. Still continues on the trend of rich assholes, which is also a theme in Star Wars The Last Jedi in the Canto Bight sequence. So I think Rian Johnson maybe has something to say about the ridiculously rich. Rian, I don't want to scorch his name with the controversial Last Jedi. Glass Onion, Knives Out 2 is another home run for Rian Johnson as the writer and director. I think the first Knives Out movie was more impressive and one that I'll be going back and watching more frequently throughout my life, but this one is a worthy sequel, and I'm happy that there's going to be a 3rd one coming out in the future, so I recommend checking this movie out. Also, if you haven't seen the first Knives Out movie, I highly recommend you go see that. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Glass Onion, Knives Out, mystery or sequel, whatever it's called. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Let's keep it spoiler-free, because, it's a murder mystery, and murder mysteries are fun to watch going in blind. So thank you so much for watching, and have a good week.